What's up, guys? Welcome to Mid-Level Media and my review of The Invisible Man. Is it everything that everybody has been saying it is? Is it the best movie so far in 2020? Find out at my next YouTube review. Hey guys, welcome to Mid-Level Media, and before I get started on my review, which is going to be of The Invisible Man, I want to go ahead and ask that you all please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like this video, and comment below your thoughts on The Invisible Man if you've seen it, or if you're going to see it soon. I would really love to hear about your experience with the film, how you felt about it. Just go ahead and comment below, like this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great content. So let's get into it, guys. The Invisible Man is written and directed by Leigh Whannell and stars Elisabeth Moss as a woman's abusive ex takes his own life. A series of coincidences lead her to believe she's being stalked by someone nobody can see. So first off, guys, I just saw this movie last night in the theater. I went with my wife. We had a little date night. I waited a little bit so she could go so we could have somebody to come babysit the kids. And this movie does not disappoint, guys. First off is what I want to say. It is really, really good. A really effective, thrilling horror / sci-fi thriller, I would classify it as. Now, I want to go ahead and say this. This movie is not, and I'm not saying this to kind of take away from how great this movie is, but I want to go ahead and shatter the expectation that this is a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece. There are flaws in the movie, and I'm going to discuss them later. But so far in 2020, this might be the best movie that has come out. And it's really good. It has a lot of great qualities about it, which I'm going to discuss. But it's just a solid horror thriller. And right now in 2020, we desperately needed one of those, especially coming off movies like The Grudge, Hansel and Gretel, and Fantasy Island. Like, we desperately, as horror fans, like, we desperately needed something like this, and we got it. So first of all, I just want to talk about Leigh Whannell's direction. So I've been a fan of this dude since, and he has a lot of writing credits, but he really burst on the scene with Upgrade, and that's what solidified it to me. Like, I'm going to watch whatever this guy does in the future, and this only solidifies that further for me, because everything that he does in Upgrade, he does it here. As far as direction and just tone and style and pacing, just the kinetic, energetic just style that he brings to his movies, and just the way he directs, the way he moves the camera, just certain shots that he gets, like, it's honestly, it's just so unique. And that's what I love the most, is when a director comes in and they just develop their own unique style right off the bat. It's just really great to see. And like, you can watch this movie and you can watch Upgrade and you can tell, like, instantly that it was directed by the same guy. Like, it just feels, they both feel like they feed off each other just style-wise, and I love that, absolutely. And he also directed, Insidious Part 3, and I don't love that one, but it's a solid horror movie. But the guy is just creating a great track record of good kind of sci-fi thrilling horror movies, is what I would call them. And The Invisible Man is kind of sci-fi. It is not just horror. This movie is just so suspenseful. It's so full of tension, and it starts right off the bat. Like, it does not waste any time. You start off with Elisabeth Moss's character, and she's immediately trying to leave her boyfriend, and just the scene of her trying to, just the simple act of just trying to leave him in the middle of the night is just one of the most tense, suspenseful, edge of your seat scenes that I have seen maybe in like 6 months. And the movie that's the opening of the movie. And from there, it just keeps escalating and building and building. But that's just, it's a great moment to start off with. And this movie is, I'm not going to say like it's not like completely terrifying. It's not the scariest thing I've ever seen, but there is some terrifying, suspenseful, scary moments. Like, the idea of being stalked by somebody that you cannot see, they use that very effectively in this movie to kind of terrify you and to make you jump. And yes, they do use jump scares a few times in this movie, but they never feel cheap, and they always feel earned. And that's, that's the difference with, the majority of horror movies out there. Movies like The Nun, who you can just tell it's orchestrated from a mile away, and that's not the case with this movie. All the jump scares, all the scares, the terror that it brings is all really effective. And Elisabeth Moss is just fantastic in this movie. I mean, I've been a fan of Elisabeth Moss since the Mad Men days when she was Peggy on there, and she has only grown into being a much greater actress today, with shows like The Handmaid's Tale and other stuff she does. But she is just phenomenal in this movie, and you really needed somebody like her. The caliber of actress or performance that she can bring to it was very much needed with this, because it could have easily fallen into the ridiculous category, because she has to react to a lot of stuff. She has to pretend that somebody is in the room with her that you can't see, and it's not like she's having a conversation with him and he's communicating back. Like, you cannot see this person. He does not let it be known that he's there as far as like conversation and dialogue, but she reacts to him and she knows she's there. And because of how she sells it, you feel like he's in the room with her, and you feel that presence through her performance. And that's why you get an Elisabeth Moss, honestly. And I can compare it to kind of last year with Us and Lupita Nyong'o, how she sold that movie just based on her performance. Elisabeth Moss does much the same thing in this, and coincidentally, Elisabeth Moss was also in Us. So just phenomenal acting on all parts, and she really sells this story. And Leigh Whannell was just so smart to get her. Between her and Logan Marshall Green, who is an upgrade, like his casting is on point. And that's the theme of this video, guys. You're gonna be hearing me gush about Leigh Whannell because he's honestly one of my favorite new directors working today. There's some good, really solid twists and turns in this movie, guys. I mean, a lot of people were afraid when they first saw that trailer, which I think came out 3 months ago, that it spoiled everything. And I kind of felt the same way too. Even though the trailer really sold me on the movie, I kind of was like, they're kind of giving away a lot here. But the trailer, it gives away, I would say, probably the first 45 minutes of the movie. But there's some really good twists and turns. There's some shocking moments in this movie. Like one moment in particular that completely just sets this movie on a new path and a new course, and you don't know where the hell it's going after that. And that's not in the trailer, and I'm not going to spoil it here, so don't worry. For a little bit in the movie, and I'll get into this in the negatives, it kind of felt like it was coasting a bit. And when this moment happened, I was kind of sitting back like this, and I immediately just sat up in my chair. I'm like, holy shit. And it just goes from that point on. So it's some really good moments and some shocking twists and turns for sure. And what I really like about this movie, and what I think that Leigh Whannell has a really solid future in, it's just good genre sci-fi horror storytelling, because this is not a traditional kind of horror Universal Monsters telling of the Invisible Man. Like, he goes very sci-fi in this movie, and I'm not going to spoil exactly what it is that's happening, but it goes from kind of spooky horror to sci-fi action really quick, and it kind of turns into a movie and they show a little bit of that in the trailer, and it kind of reminds me way more of Upgrade in the second half than it does in the first. And it's because of this genre shift and tonal shift that Leigh Whannell is just so expertly crafting in his movies. And Upgrade, just like this, Upgrade's primarily sci-fi with some horror elements, whereas I would classify this as horror with some sci-fi elements. But he just transitions between those two genres so seamlessly, and it's incredible. So as for the negative, guys, I have a couple. Like I said, it slows down a bit in the first act going into the second, and it really picks up when that shocking moment happens. But until then, I'm kind of it's following this conventional path, and I was kind of, to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed at the direction it was going in. And also, you have these side characters, and her relationship with them is kind of important, and it leads to important circumstances and decisions that she has to make later on in the movie. But those relationships really aren't established as strongly as I would have liked. And you don't really know a lot about the side characters. You don't know about her relationship with them. And I wish I would have gotten a little bit more there as far as their development, because this is really this is Elizabeth Moss' vehicle. Like, she is the driving force. She is the person that you are following through like 95% of this movie. And they don't give enough time to the side characters and her relationship with them. So I wanted a little bit more there for sure. And the ending, again, I'm not going to spoil, and I don't want to give any kind of implications, but I wasn't as satisfied with the ending as I was hoping to be, and I may just need to let it sit with me for a while. It might be something that improves on a rewatch, but I wasn't 100% on board with this particular ending as it was happening. And it was also something that I kind of predicted, or at least along the lines of what I predicted would happen in like the first 45 minutes of the movie. So a little tiny bit disappointing on the ending, but beyond that, guys, this is a really solid, just effective, thrilling horror movie. And this is something that I absolutely recommend that you go out to the theater to see, because it is a really great theater going experience. So I'm going to go pretty high with this one. Because it's definitely one of the best movies of 2020. I'm going to go for a 9 out of 10 for The Invisible Man. So definitely go and check this one out. And if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. Subscribe to my channel for more upcoming movie reviews on new releases. I do Blu-ray unboxings, Blu-ray hunting videos on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe, like this video, comment down below your thoughts on The Invisible Man, and we'll see you next time.